Hi, Medium Patricia here. What's up, guys? New video. Today is July 10th, 2021, and coming on with a new video to talk a little bit about what life is about and deja vu. And just want to say that everything that I say on my videos, all the information I talk about, is all my own thoughts and observations of things I've learned and what I've been told by spirit. It's not. I don't have any degrees or anything, and don't pretend to be anybody that is certified in anything that I talk about. It's just things that I happen to come across or get from those in spirit. Being a medium, I talk to those in spirit. So also, just to let you know that I do have a Facebook page under Medium Patricia Giebel, Giebel, and I do free random readings on Wednesday nights whenever possible. So if you want to friend me on Facebook, that would be fine, as long as you're going there with good intention. If not, I will delete anybody that's not there with good intention. But anyway, also have some books on Amazon under Patricia A. Giebel. If you search my name, you will find all the books that I've written about. A lot of self-help books and inspirational books. I do private readings for a small fee, and you can find me on Wix.com under Medium Patricia Giebel. If you go to my Facebook page, I have my web page listed under my Facebook page. With that, I'm going to go on with someone asked me to explain a little bit about deja vu. So before I do that, I have to explain the reasons behind that. From what Spirit tells me, we are born for a purpose, and that purpose is for our soul to learn, to be loving, caring, peaceful, and unconditionally loving. So it's like we're in school. Each birth that we have, we're learning. Our soul is learning more and more to be faithful, loving, caring, and unconditionally loving. Some souls take more than one lifetime. Some take less because they don't like being on the physical plane. So what they tell me is that before we're born, pre-birth, our life is planned out ahead of time. And believe it or not, whatever happens to us in our lifetime is our own fault, because even though it's planned for us, we are sat down and shown what our life is going to be like, just like we're sitting down to watch a movie, and we approve or disapprove of anything depending on what our soul lessons need to be done, or what we need to accomplish as a soul at the soul level. So what we do is we sit down with a group of angels, masters, or whatever, whoever plans our lifetime and puts in it the lessons we need to learn. And we either agree or not agree to certain things that are put in there. So in the final, at the final planning, it's all up to us, really, from what I understand. And before we're born, this happens. And once we're born, we have a plan that we go through. It's almost like we're following a map, or GPS is taking us through life. And when we have deja vu, it's because we're remembering that soul planning pre-birth. So when you feel like you've done something before, it's because you're remembering your orientation pre-birth, watching your life plan. So that's what they tell me is that's what that is. When you feel like you've done something before, or you remember, like you feel like, how did I know this was going to happen? That's because you were shown it before you're born. Your soul was shown it. So, a lot of people a lot of people think life is all about accomplishing physical things, monetary things, relationship things. But really what we're here to do is learn to be faithful and loving and caring and unconditionally loving. And even though we have people and things that happen in life that cause us drama or pain, it's because it's all meant to be that way, because we have to experience those things in order to be able to overcome the bad and still be faithful and loving and caring. If life were a bowl of cherries, we wouldn't need to be here. We would have stayed in heaven. But because of the original sin, we all have, and because God gave us free will, we all have to learn at a soul level, and to learn to be strong in faith and love, we have to experience bad things. So the things that happen to us in life that are bad are really meant for a good reason. Hopefully we learn from that. I know a lot of people that have been through a lot of tragedies, and sometimes you look at some certain people and you think to yourself, what more could happen to those poor people? They've been through so much. But that's the type of thing that happens when I think a soul comes that they don't want to come back again. They just want to get it all over with. And they're constantly tested and tested and tested. And they still remain faithful and still remain loving and still happy and still, they still move on. They don't, feel sorry for themselves. Those are the people that I think their souls are willing to come and get it all over with in a short period of time rather than over several lifetimes. I personally don't want to come back again. I don't think I will. If I have any choice at all, I will not be coming back. But I think that I've been through quite a few things that I could have very well given up on my faith and been angry with. But the first thing was losing my mother. My mom was pretty young when she passed, and the situation with her and medical treatment and my father and the things that we went through could have very easily angered me and made me less faithful. But believe it or not, my mother's passing was the first thing that got me, I think, on my spiritual path. And then I lost my grandson, who was 4 years old, tragically. And that made me even more on the spiritual path, because his passing literally opened my eyes to a lot of things. I could have very well been angry and gave up on God and religion and whatever, but in fact it made me more spiritual and more closer to God than ever. And then shortly after that, I lost my sister, who was younger than me, tragically and suddenly. Well, I wouldn't say so much tragically, but it kind of was tragically because it was sudden and nobody knew she was even sick. But so basically what life is about is to come here and teach you at a soul level what you need to learn to be able to move up into the halls of heaven. And I believe I think I've said this before in other videos, there are several levels of heaven, and the more you learn and the more you become strong in your faith and love, the higher you move up in the halls of heaven. It's like different neighborhoods, like, you have your middle class neighborhood, your rich neighborhood. It's sort of like the same thing. The higher up you go, the more you experience as far as joy and love. Not that it all isn't that way, but it just gets better and better, so to speak. So from what I understand, but things of material, things like money and fame and all that. It's not important. That has nothing to do with why you're here. Um, but God did give us free will, and our free will sometimes takes us in that direction. For me, I have always had enough, and I've been happy with just having enough. I get by with what I need, and God gives me what I need. And I don't charge a whole lot to do readings because of that. If I didn't need to charge at all, I wouldn't charge at all. But um, from what I've gathered, if I don't charge something, I have people constantly calling and messaging and wanting my time, so I have to kind of charge something just so I don't get overwhelmed. But and also because I am retired and have a fixed income, and every little bit does help. But I mean, I could be charging a lot more than I do, but I don't feel that that's what life is all about, and that's not why we're here. So I do charge, but not a phenomenal amount, and I don't ever care to be famous or rich from it. Um, so, things you got to realize in life is be happy for the little things that happen in your life. And when something bad happens, try to see the good in it, because there's always a lesson to be learned from whatever happens to us, especially the bad stuff and the good stuff too. But if you look at life as just a moment in time, like my book says, I wrote a book called Life is Just a Moment in Time. If it's just a moment in time, it's just like very temporary compared to eternity. And you want to try and do the best you can and try to get to that point where you're in eternity and you don't have to come back and do these little bits of learning that the soul needs to learn. Because once you're in heaven, you don't ever want to come back, from what I understand. I mean, a lot of people that have died and had to come back say that. They didn't want to come back. It's so peaceful and loving and joyful on the other side. So if you can focus your life on learning to be peaceful, loving, caring, and stop putting so much emphasis on material things and gaining fame or fortune or money, or I mean, all that stuff comes to you when you need it. If you believe God will give it to you, He does. I mean, it just a matter of what you're going to be happy with. If you're happy with a little or enough, then you're going to be a lot happier than some people strive to be rich their whole lives, and they're never happy because they never make it to that point. But that's not what's going to make them happy. You can have all the money in the world, and you're not going to be happy. What you got to set your sights on is what happens after life and how you're going to fare out after life. I don't really know. Honestly, don't know if there is a hell. I've never had any proof of it. I do have proof there is heaven, or there is life after death. So, I mean, I could not come up with the things that I come up with unless somebody was telling me on the other side. When I do these readings, they come up with things that you can't look up. And so basically just try and set your goals to goals that you're going to be able to achieve in life, and whatever happens after that, to the better or to it's all gratis, it's all extra. Just set yourself sights on wanting to have enough, like food on the table, a house to live in, or home to live in, family members, good times with family members, vacation once in a while, whatever. But and don't judge your life by other people's lives, because everybody's life is different. It's planned out different, and it's going to happen different. We're going to have things happen to us that we are going to be hurtful or painful. We're going to have maybe more than others, maybe not. It just depends on what we planned in our own life. Just know that everything we planned in life and everything that happens to us is for a good reason. And in the end, it's all good. I hope this kind of brings out some of the reality of life for you. And deja vu, like I said, is just proof that what they tell us on the other side is true, because it makes sense that if you've seen your life plan and you know it's going to happen pre-birth, and all of a sudden you get to that point in real life once you're born that you're remembering stuff, it kind of makes sense that that's what deja vu would be about. So just know that everything that happens in life is for a reason. It may not all be happy stuff, but it may be painful at times, but it's all for the better, because once you leave this earth, whatever you accomplish or learn in this lifetime is going to be beneficial for you in the afterlife. I hope this video helps you in some way, and if you enjoyed this or got information that was valuable out of it, please give us a like and subscribe. It's very free to subscribe, so the more people that subscribe and like, the more they get to see this video. And until the next video, God bless and take care.